First off, I want to thank the entire youth committee and Brother Stovall. I want to thank you for being there in my life. You've really been through the tough times. Most of you may not know who I am, and if you do, you know me by name, or if you've seen me up here before. But if you really don't know who I am, you probably are going to figure out tonight. There was a point in my life, where my calling was first revealed, and I honestly can't remember how young I was. I may have been 10 or 11, but it was revealed by a mighty man of God who I really look up to. I don't know if any of y'all know who Greg Randall is. But he revealed a portion of what God has in store for me. And, when I was 10 or 11, I was like, great, cool. What is it? And, I just went through most of my life, and then many years later, God revealed it again. And it wasn't clear as to what it was. And I was like, okay, but what are you trying to tell me, God? What are you laying out in front of me that I just can't clearly tell what it is? What are you trying to tell me? And after a year after that, I just sat down in frustration because I just would pray over and over and over, God, can you just tell me what you have in store for me? What do you have for my life? Because I see all my friends, I see all these people, time and time after again, getting their calling, understanding what God has in store for them. And I'm just like, why can't I have that same feeling? And I was in prayer one night, and I felt God say, because I just said that to him, like, why can't I know, or why don't I know? And he said, if you would just open your eyes, you would have seen what I've had in store for you for many years. And all the memories that God had, said in past times came flooding back, and I was just in tears. And after that, 3 separate times, men of God have said the same thing over me. God has put something in your life. You've denied it. You've ran away from it. You've been afraid. You didn't know what it was, even though you did know what it was. And I was just like, there's no way. There's still no way. And finally, I just let go. I went to South Texas camp just not that long ago, and I let go. I was like, God, if that is what it is, then I will go. I will do what your calling is on my life. I will do whatever you have in store for me. And NAYC rolls around, and, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to, just go to these services, because, it's been a year. It's been 4 or 5 years since we had the last one, and, I was upset about that. So I was happy that we were able to come back. Imagine 35,000 people, like-minded, standing in a stadium where God's presence is just filled in there. And it's one of the most amazing feelings you will ever feel. And I was so thankful that I was able to get to go. And each night just touched me every single time. It was like God spoke to me every single time in a different way, and it just made things clearer and clearer and clearer that I just need to go forth into my calling. And finally, on the last night, I'm kind of going to butcher what you said to me, but on the last night, I was praying for different people because I felt like I needed to. I felt like that's what God was calling me to do, was to go pray for different people. And finally, after praying with my family, I sat there, and Logan sat next to me, and it was pretty much just go forth in your calling. And now I've never been more clear as to what God has had in store for me. And I've honestly I've been so thankful for everything that he's done in my life. I've been thankful for every person who's ever spoken in my life, because not only has it directed me towards where I need to go, but it's given me strength. And honestly, I was going to be quick and sweet, and so I'm done now.